Okay, this video is on how to add questions to your Moodle quiz. This is the basics. The next video is how to make all the different kinds of questions available to you. This one's just on how to add a question to a quiz. So let's go into our demo class and we'll take a look at adding a question to a quiz. Okay, we're in our demo class again, and I'm looking at this chapter 1 preview quiz. If I click on it, first thing it says is you have no questions added yet. In order to add questions to our quiz, we have to go to Edit Quiz. The video before this was on how to set it up. That's the settings for the quiz. Now we're in the quiz itself, and we want to edit the quiz itself. When we go to Edit Quiz, the first thing we have up here on the top right is how many points is this quiz worth. If this is a short cycle assessment, it's got a default of 10. If it's a summative one, maybe we want 1,000. There we go. Maybe we want to make it 100 points, but this is where we give it what the grade is worth. And this is where we say whether the questions are going to be shuffled or not. So all my quizzes, the questions shuffle. However, I don't use sequential. And that's one of those things that I pointed out in the setup. If you're using a sequential quiz, you're not going to want to say shuffle. Although you could say sequential and shuffle just to make sure they can't skip around and see what questions other people are on, I suppose. But normal, I use shuffle. And I use different point values based on the weight of the quiz in question. Is it a test? Still the quiz module, and it's worth 100 points. Is it just a little short cycle assessment? It's worth 5, whatever. This is where we set that. And then this is where we add questions to our quiz. And we just have an add button. And when we hit the add button, we have 3 choices. We can make a new question right here. We can add one from the question bank, or we can add a random question also from the question bank. So the bottom 2 both say question bank. The random question is one of those things that a lot of teachers don't use. I have a quiz that's before the test that is just 5 random questions for my category. I don't even pick them. The thing about random questions is every single time you come in to this quiz, so I can say you can take an unlimited amount of times, there's only 5 questions, but every single time they come in, it's 5 different questions, which drives students crazy sometimes. But I'm like, look, you get to preview a whole bunch of the questions that could be on the test, but the point is, look them up while you go. Don't just take them and think I'm going to retake it to get an A on that, because you're not, because it's random. But I don't use those very often. So I've got from the question bank or new question. I don't think there's any questions in my question bank. Nope, there's no questions in my question bank, so that's not going to do a thing. I would have to add a new question, and then I have a drop down of all the different question types. These are questions. Down here, the bottom one is a description, which is basically just a text box that you could put text or video into, and that's where you look at the sequential quiz where you go, hey, I'm going to put this description first, a paragraph of reading, and then there are questions about that reading all embedded inside the quiz. You could do the same thing. You could have a video first. Again, you'd want to not shuffle if you were doing that. If you're going to have a video and then questions on the video, I wouldn't do that on a summative thing, but on a short cycle assessment, you certainly could. That is it on how to add questions, because I'm not going through all the question types here. This is just how to add a question to the quiz, and your thing is you just say add either a new question, question bank, or random question. Once you've got all yours in and you've set shuffle, then the quiz is set up for your students to take. The next video is on how to add all those different kinds of questions, and I'm going to go through each one of them one at a time for the ones that I use and am proficient with using those types of questions.